Hey, everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking on your Tuesday? Hope it's going great for you. Tonight, I am going to tell you all about Alan Freed, who, man, he pioneered. He was the guy that made rock and roll radio happen. Well, for most people. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, retweet, do all those fine things that serve the almighty algorithm. All praise and honor of the algorithm. And, before we get to me telling you about Alan Freed, which is, you see him behind me there, is a big sign. He's having one of his big shows, his Easter Jubilee of Stars. And see Jimmy Bowen, the Rhythm Orchids, the Heartbreakers. Who else? There's somebody, the Cello, whatever. There's a lot of them. Before I tell you about that, I had many people yesterday evening emailing me, direct messaging me, contacting me via carrier pigeon. Pony Express, you name it. As some of you may or may not know, the Shuli Network yesterday released their schedule. Now, you might take that with a grain of salt. I mean, no offense to the guys, but they're not exactly what you would call network top of the hour punctual usually with their programs. And when you have a 9-minute opening, you give them a little leeway there. But one of the things that jumped out to a lot of people, a lot, was the fact that they are planning to have most nights, vast majority of evenings, they are doing a program at this time. Now, I have been toiling at this time. I think you would all have to agree that I am right on time, usually early. Usually a little bit early, I open up things and play the song. And so we start at 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern. And, I just want to say that I don't take that kind of thing personally, because I know that decision was made without any concern about me at all. No deference, no, good feelings, no mutual respect, no kindred spirits, no, liking this show, no, nothing of that. Not one scintilla, not one germ, not one crumb, not one dollop, not one mini dollop. There's just absolutely no, no regard, let's just say, for me whatsoever. Probably didn't even make a little speed bump, because that's who they are. I can't get through it. I'm kidding. The truth of the matter is two things, and this makes perfect sense. My show, the Shuli Network, I mean, it's obvious I'm a tiny show compared to theirs. There's no reason they should take notice. But the truth is, there's shows bigger than theirs that air at the time they go on, no matter what time they go on. That's the nature of YouTube. No matter who you are, there's an equally large or bigger show on when you're on. There's sporting events that get thousands. There's breaking news. There's all sorts of things. So you really have no claim to a starting time other than this is the time I'm going to start so the people who do listen can watch it at that point in time. And that's just the way it is. It's nothing personal. It's just when they're going to do it, and that's fine. It doesn't bother me at all. And I'm joking about all that other stuff. It's just fun. Mock outrage is fun. It just is. So the second thing is, and I mentioned this the last couple of nights, I have a new day gig. It's an amazing gig. It's incredible. However, right now it has me working until 6 Eastern. So for me to get the show together by 7 Eastern it's not easy. And when I eventually have to go into an office, and that day is coming very soon, getting back here and doing a show at 7 Eastern, not going to be possible. So given all of that information, it makes a lot of sense for me. One of these days, it might be tomorrow, it might be the first day of next week. I'll take suggestions from you guys to do it at 8. It really does, because 8 is 7 my time, and that allows me to get off work at 5, make my way back through the Dallas traffic, and then have some time to put this show together. So, open to your thoughts on, when I should do that. Should I do it tomorrow? Should I do it the day after? Or should I just start next week? Doesn't really matter to me. It's doable now, but, and you know what? If those guys are going to do a schedule, that's probably best. The 52 card pickup of when are we doing it? When are they? The people like to know when the shows are on. So I applaud them for doing that. And again, this is a teeny tiny little show. There's what sort of mock outrage could I really have other than the kind I just had? Hey, really. I know it was nothing personal because I don't give those guys credit for actually being able to put a show on exactly at the right time every day. I'm sorry. It's just fun to make like you're upset. I'm not upset. I have no hide nor hair of how this show is going to be viewed. I thought we did a hell of a show last night on Heaven's Gate. And we got like 74 views. Now, the thing about my show is that I have a very high viewer time spent rating. Some shows have 3 or 4 minutes. Mine is like at a half an hour. People that come in, they watch for a half an hour. They don't leave. And that's really what I'm shooting for. That's better than having more people and less viewing time. The show we did on bubblegum, I think, has been the most successful show this year. There's 300 and some viewers. How? Why? I don't know. Some, person with a big audience could have recommended it. I don't know. So I never know. And so it doesn't matter. It's just we're doing a show. We're having fun with you guys in the most cheerful chat room on the internet as verified by independent sources. So you guys just tell me what time, what day you think I should go to 8 o'clock Eastern. And that's what I'll do. We'll do it then. I mean, I'm either going to do it one day this week. It's almost like do it start tomorrow or start Monday, in my mind. But also, I should mention, I now have the weekends open. And I think the weekends would be a perfect time to start doing some member-only shows, if I can figure out how to do that technically. So there you go. There you go. And so now, with all that being said, and you guys know I love Shuli and Bob and Mike, and I think Zen just tolerates me, but I like him anyway. So, hey, they got to do what they got to do. Everybody does. And like I said, these shows, there's always something else. I mean, CBS News goes to Gaza and there's drones attacking something. they're going to get 10,000 viewers. What are we all going to do? Go, hey, man, I usually am on now. No, there's no crying in YouTube. Unless you're John talking about a former student. All right, let me get my thing out here. Time to get my thing out, ladies and gentlemen. Like, share, subscribe. Do all those freebie things that are good for the algorithm. We must respect the algorithm. We're monetized, so you can donate that way. But also, turn on those free memberships, if you would. Gift memberships. I think there may be some lurking out there from yesterday. I don't know. Do any of that stuff you want to or not. And also the merchandise store. I got some very nice compliments today from someone who had purchased one of the 20-ounce cups, mugs for her dad, and then she got one for herself. And she uses it to like have her lunch. She eats soup and cereal and other that is one big ass mug, I do have to say. Very proud of that mug. That's a big ass mug. It was a big ass mug. Jenny G says yes, weekends members only would be awesome. Jenny, I'm kind of wanting to do a watch party. I'm kind of wanting to find a public domain movie and do a watch party where we can stop, we can have the phone line open, I can read the chats throughout and stop the movie. That's what I'm thinking. But who knows? Who the heckle and Jekyll knows? Let's just get going here on tonight's topic. Look at that guy. Does that guy not look like the dude who pioneered rock radio? Look at that guy. He's a rebel. Look at that. Yeah. Alan Freed was an American disc jockey. And he's the guy that pioneered to mass audiences rock and roll music throughout North America. Now, he was born to a Welsh-American mother, Maud, and a Russian-Jewish immigrant father, Charles S. Freed. And in the early 30s, his family moved to Salem, Ohio. He graduated in 1940. When he was in high school, he formed a band. And that band, dig this, because some of you are going to get the reference, was called the Sultans of Swing. You guys remember Dire Straits' first hit, Sultans of Swing? I got to think that's where they got the name. Anyway, he played trombone in the band, but he wanted to be the band leader. Unfortunately, an ear infection put an end to that dream. While attending Ohio State University, which is where he went to school, he became interested in radio and radio broadcasting. And he had to join the service, the U.S. Army during World War II, and he worked as a DJ on Armed Forces Radio. Now, soon after World War II, he started getting jobs at smaller radio stations, including WKST, Newcastle, Pennsylvania, WKBN, Youngstown, Ohio, and WAKR, Akron, Ohio, where he, in 1945, became a local favorite for playing hot jazz and pop recordings. Hot jazz and swing were a thing, man. If you've never listened to hot jazz and swing, that music just rips. And you can tell why someone would go to rock and roll from that, because it's kind of a little violent. It's a little, whatever. So he was the first radio disc jockey and concert producer who frequently, some would play it sporadically or once in a while. He frequently played and promoted rock and roll. Now, he popularized the phrase rock and roll on mainstream radio in the early 1950s. The term, he gets credit for starting the term. He didn't start the term. The term already existed and had been used by Billboard as early as 1946, but the term was obscure. Nobody really used it until Alan Freed started using it all the time. Now, several sources say that he first discovered the term as a euphemism for let's get it on. Anyway, on the record 60-Minute Man by Billy Ward and the Dominoes, the lyrics include the line, I rock 'em, I roll 'em all night long. Anyway, Freed did not accept that inspiration or the meaning of the expression. In interviews, he explained his view of the term like this. He said, rock and roll is really swing with a modern name. It began on the levees and in plantations and in folk songs and features rhythm and blues, sort of setup. So he helped bridge the gap of segregation among young teenage Americans, presenting music by black artists rather than the cover versions by Pat Boone and white artists, which was very common in the 50s. A rock and roll record would come out, it would be smoking good, and immediately a record company would have a white artist cover that song instead of using the original black artists. And in he also arranged live concerts attended by racially mixed audiences, which was a big thing back in the early 50s. Freed appeared in several motion pictures as himself. In the 1956 film Rock, Rock, Rock. Yeah, I know. Freed tells the audience that rock and roll is a river of music which has absorbed many streams. Rhythm and blues, jazz, ragtime, cowboy songs, country songs, folk songs, all have contributed greatly to the big beat. Anyway, back to our story. In June of 1945, Alan Freed joined WAKR, Akron, Ohio, 1590 AM on your dial. Bong, bong, bong. And he quickly became a star announcer. He was dubbed the Old Knucklehead. These guys had like nicknames all the time back in the 50s and 60s. Hey, folks, you're listening to the Old Knucklehead. Freed had up to 5 hours of airtime every day on the station by June of 1948. And the daytime jukebox serenade, the early evening waxworks, and the nightly request review. He also had a brief run-in, a couple of them, with management, and was at one point temporarily fired for violating studio rules and failing to show up for work for several days in a row. There's a reason for that, by the way, that we'll get to later. It's very emblematic of early and even now. Some of the best radio talent gets in trouble with station management because station management are a bunch of idiots, almost universally. Not every single one, but 90%. The last thing they're good at is radio. Station management is usually somebody that got into radio but wasn't good enough on the air to be good. So they got into management. At the height of his popularity in 1948, Freed signed a contract extension with WAKR that included a non-compete clause inserted by owner, and this guy just sounds like a villain, S. Bernard Burke, preventing Freed from working at any station within a 75-mile radius of Akron for a full year. Freed left WAKR on February 12, 1950, and after one program on competing station WADC, 1350 AM, several days later, Burke and WAKR sued Freed to enforce that non-compete clause. Now, as we know, non-compete clauses are unenforceable in this day and age. But Freed repeatedly lost this in court. Even after appealing his case to the Supreme Court of Ohio, his nemesis, S. Bernard Burke, his successful implementation of the non-compete clause is now recognized within the industry as a model for broadcasters regarding on-air talent contracts. The contract that was originally written back in 1950 was apparently so well written and bulletproof it was used up until just recently. In the late 40s, while working at WAKR, Freed met Cleveland record store owner Leo Mintz. And this is huge. This is huge. Record Rendezvous, one of Cleveland's largest record stores, had begun selling rhythm and blues records. Now, Leo Mintz told Freed that he'd noticed an increased interest in those records at his store, and he encouraged Freed to play rock and rhythm and blues radio on his station. In 1951, having already joined television station WXEL, now WJW, Channel 8 in Cleveland, Ohio, in the middle of 1950, as just an announcer, he would say, "And next, Love of Life." I mean, that's all he did in the booth. Freed moved to Cleveland, which at 39 miles from Akron was in range of his non-compete clause. But in April of that year, with the help of RCA's Northern Ohio distributor, he was released from the non-compete clause. He was then hired by WJW Radio for a midnight program sponsored by Mainline, the RCA distributor, and Record Rendezvous. Freed peppered his speech with hipster language, like, "Hey, cats, what's flippin'?" He was a hipster. And with a rhythm and blues record called Moondog as his theme song, he broadcast R&B hits into the night. Some of you may remember, if you've ever heard the song by Ian Hunter called Cleveland Rocks, the start of that song is actually Alan Freed. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. I might have that here. If I do, I'll play it for you. That's it's the old Moondogger. Oh, it doesn't look like I do have it. I thought for sure I had that in my thingamahoosit. Okay, now it's become a quest. Now I have to play it. Let's see. It's by Ian Hunter. It used to be at the start of the Drew Carey Show. Okay, I'm going to just play the beginning. Hopefully they don't dock me for this. Here it comes.
Hello, everybody. Hi, all tonight. This is Alan Freed, the old king of the Moondoggers, and it's time again for another of your favorite rock and roll sessions as you enjoy the Moondog Show.
Okay, that was Alan Freed. I love it that he does that at the beginning because it's Cleveland Rocks, and he was, of course, known for Cleveland. Cleveland at the time, by the way, was considered a breakout market for all forms of music. Cleveland was a place where the trends began before they did in the rest of the country. So Leo Mintz, the record store owner, proposed buying time on Cleveland radio station WJW, which would be devoted entirely to R&B recordings, with Freed as his host. On July 11th, 1951, Freed began playing rhythm and blues records on WJW, while R&B records were played for many years on low-powered inner-city radio stations, right? Aimed at African Americans. This is probably the first time that authentic R&B was featured regularly on a major mass audience station in a big city. Now, Freed called his show the Moondog House and billed himself as you heard, the king of the Moondoggers. And he'd been inspired by another instrumental piece called Moondog Symphony, and a guy that was known professionally as Moondog. He adopted the record as his show's theme music. His on-air manner was energetic. In contrast to many contemporary radio presenters of the day that had traditional pop music that were almost sounded like they were drugged by today's standards. They'd be like, "Now here's Perry Como with How Green Is My Valley." I mean, they were just super low-key. And he addressed his listeners as if they were all part of this make-believe kingdom of hipsters united in their love for R&B music. He also began popularizing the phrase rock and roll to describe the music that he played. Later that year, I don't know what the heck's going on there, Freed promoted dances and concerts featuring the music he was playing on the radio. You see one of them behind me. That was common for them to just be splattered with artists. He was one of the He was one of the organizers of a very, very famous rock concert in the early days. Tagged on it. Thanks, StreamYard. Called the Moondog Coronation Ball. Okay, and it was on March 21st, 1952, at the Cleveland Arena. Look who it has: Paul Williams, the Hucklebuckers, Tiny Grimes, the Dominoes, which were a pretty big group, Danny Cobb, Veretta Ballad, many others. I don't think it's that big, but that event, that particular event, you're looking at the poster right now, is considered in this day and age to have been the first major rock and roll concert. Happens when you don't talk all day and you do a show. Crowds showed up for this concert in numbers way beyond the capacity of the arena, and it was shut down early due to overcrowding and a near riot. Freed gained notoriety from the incident. WJW immediately increased the airtime allotted to Freed's program, and his popularity skyrocketed. In those days, like I said, man, tell you what, folks. Doing this show is a fight every day. I'm dealing with StreamYard. I'm dealing with the internet speed. I'm dealing with these pictures. I got a whole network of former Howard Stern people trying to horn in on my time. Hey, you know why they wanted this time? Because I made it the time to be cool. Right? Sorry, I just had to go stuttering John for a second. If it wasn't for me, no one would listen at 7 Eastern. Oh, dear. In July of 1954, following his success on the air in Cleveland, and those of you from the New York area will recognize this station, Freed moved to WINS, WINS 1010 in New York City. The original Moondog guy took him to court and his radio station for infringement in 1956 because of the name Moondog. Yeah, that guy won $6,000 off of Freed. Freed needed a better lawyer, always, as well as an agreement to give up usage of the name Moondog. Freed left the station in May of '58 after a riot at a dance in Boston featuring Jerry Lee Lewis. WINS eventually became around-the-clock top 40 rock and roll station and would remain so until 1965. So that was long after Freed left, and then it became an all-news outlet, which I believe it still is to this day. Earlier in 1956, Freed had hosted the Camel Rock and Roll Dance Party, named after Camel Cigarettes, a sponsor of his. And let me get another picture up here. This will be a good one because he did a lot of movies about rock and roll, and I'll talk to you about those in just a second here. The half-hour program headlined Count Basie and his orchestra, Sam the Man Taylor, and rock and roll guests like Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, who were kind of a doo-wop group. The radio program also referred to as Alan Freed's Rock and Roll Dance Party on CBS Radio from New York. Freed also worked at WABC AM starting in May of 1958, but was fired from that station in November of the next year after refusing to sign a statement for the FCC that he never accepted payola bribes, which is really going to be a bad turn in this story a little later on. Subsequently arrived at a small Los Angeles radio station, KDAY, 1580 AM, and worked there for about a year. He was in a number of these pioneering rock and roll motion pictures, okay? And these were called jukebox musicals. People, especially teenagers, loved them because they brought visual depictions of their favorite radio, acts that they'd never seen before to the big screen years before music videos would present the same sort of image on the TV screen. And Not all these people had rock and roll in their town. Not all these people could go see these acts. So being able to see them on screen was great. Now, these movies, if you watch them today, a lot of the performances are incredible, the actual songs. But this was like Love Boat level plot stitched together with rock and roll music. It was very not that important of a story. You know the kind of movie I'm talking about, right? I mean, it's just Rock Around the Clock featured Alan Freed, Bill Haley and the Comets, the Platters, and the Bellboys. Rock, 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 as I mentioned, featured Teddy Randazzo, Tuesday Weld, Ha, 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 Chuck Berry, Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, Johnny Burnett, the Moonglows. Some of you that are really into music like I am recognize some of these names. Mr. Rock and Roll featured Freed. Rocky Graziano, former heavyweight champion of the world. Lionel Hampton, incredible jazz legend. Ferlin Husky. Ferlin Husky just doesn't fit in that whole thing. Frankie Lyman again. Little Richard. Little Richard. Screamin' Jay Hawkins. In 1957, Don't Knock the Rock. Do I have that one, that movie poster? Do I have Don't Knock the Rock? I think I do. No, I have Mr. Rock and Roll there. I'll just put that up there for a second. Was the other one I showed Don't Knock the Rock? See, that one's Rock, Rock, Rock. Yeah. The movies are so different, and so are their titles. What the hey? Don't Knock the Rock had Bill Haley and the Comets, Allendale, Little Richard, 1959 Go Johnny Go, which for some reason did not include the word rock, featured Alan Freed, Richie Valens, Eddie Cochran, Jackie Wilson, the Flamingos, the Cadillacs, and the Moonglows again. Chuck Berry played Freed's pal and sidekick, which was a groundbreaking role in those days for African-American dude. Man, oh man, I got to watch Go Johnny Go. That one's loaded. I mean, Richie Valens and Eddie Cochran were not long for this world when that movie was shot. Freed was given a weekly primetime TV series called The Big Beat, which premiered on ABC in July of 1957. The show was scheduled for a summer run with the understanding that if there were enough viewers, it would continue into the next TV season. But even though the ratings for this show were very strong, it was suddenly terminated. Nobody knew why. And the Wall Street Journal said there was an uproar caused when African-American artist Frankie Lyman was seen on TV dancing with a white audience member. That supposedly is what did that in. And that, it doesn't seem like that long ago, but that's the way the world was in 1957. A lot of the Southern ABC affiliates lost their mind. During this period, Freed was on other popular programs like To Tell the Truth, where he defends rock and roll to the other panelists who are Polly Bergen, Ralph Bellamy, Hy Garner, and Kitty Carlisle. Ralph Bellamy, one of the two brothers in Trading Places. So, okay, the end of Alan Freed's life is really tragic. It's super tragic. In 1958, he faced controversy in Boston when he told the audience, "It looks like the Boston police don't want you to have a good time." As a result, he was arrested and charged with inciting to riot and was fired from his job at WINS in New York. It was also really affected when it was shown that he had accepted payola, been paid by record companies to play specific records. A practice that was really controversial at the time, but a lot of people were doing it. A lot. He initially denied taking payola, but later admitted to his fans that he had accepted the bribes. He refused to sign a statement for the FCC while working at WABC to state he never received bribes, and that led to his being fired. In 1960, payola was made illegal. In December of 1962, after being charged on multiple counts of commercial bribery, Freed pled guilty to 2 counts of commercial bribery, was fined $300 and given a suspended sentence. But there was also a series of conflict of interest allegations that he had taken songwriting co-credits that he didn't deserve. The most notable example was Chuck Berry's Maybelline. No, Maybelline, why can't you be true? Oh, Maybelline, I'm done doing the things you used to do. Taking partial credit allowed him to receive part of the song's royalties, which he could help increase by heavily promoting the record on his own program. And Berry was eventually able to regain full writing credits for that song. Now, in another example, one of the Moonglows insisted Freed's name was not merely a credit on the song Sincerely, and that he did actually co-write it. Another group, the Flamingos, also claimed that Freed had wrongly taken writing credit for some of their songs. So it's, who knows, back and forth. In 1964, Freed was indicted by a federal grand jury for tax evasion and ordered to pay $37,920 in taxes on income he had allegedly not reported. Most of that income was said to be from payola. So he kind of took that money under the table, spent it, and didn't pay taxes on it. 37 grand, almost 38, back in 1964. Okay, let me see if I can find out that figure. How much is $38,000 in today's money? Oh, come on. Oh, how much is 38,000 from 1964? Okay, that's like $382,000 today. So he wasn't going to pay that back or be able to. His personal life, he was married 3 times. His first wife he married in 1943. They had 2 children and were divorced 6 years later. Got married again a little less than a year later and married a woman. They had 2 children and got divorced about 8 years later. And then in August of 1958, he married his last wife, Inga Bolling, and they remained together until his death. Now, because of the negative publicity from the payola stuff, no top station would employ him, which just is crazy by today's standards. People get thrown in jail, they do all sorts of stuff, and they get hired back right away. He moved to the West Coast in 1960, where he worked at KDAY in Santa Monica. In 1962, after KDAY refused to allow him to promote rock and roll stage shows, Freed moved to WQAM in Miami, Florida in 1962, recognizing that his career in major markets might be over. He drank heavily, and the job only lasted for 2 months. He was apparently a heavy drinker for a long time, which would explain him not showing up for days on end at one of his radio stations. During 1964, he returned to L.A. for a very short stint at KNOB. Living in the Racket Club Estates neighborhood of Palm Springs, he died on January 20th, 1965, from uremia and cirrhosis brought on by alcoholism at the age of only 43 years old. He was initially buried in the Ferncliff Cemetery in Hartsdale, New York. In March of 2022, Judith Fisher Freed, his daughter-in-law, carried his ashes to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio. On August 1st, 2014, the Hall of Fame asked Alan Freed's son, Lance Freed, to remove the ashes permanently, which he did. The Freed family later interned his ashes at Cleveland's Lakeview Cemetery beneath a jukebox-shaped memorial featuring Freed's image. And here is that memorial right there. That's very nice, I think. It's very appropriate. And yeah, so Alan Freed, the guy that did all this and really pioneered it, and frankly went through a lot of, forget the payola stuff. He was arrested. He had a lot of strife because this music was very unpopular, and by a lot of mainstream sources, and there's a lot of racism against it and everything else. And he eventually, he didn't end that great. So that's, ladies and gentlemen, is what I have to tell you about the late, great Alan Freed. We all owe him a debt of gratitude. Anybody who in junior high, high school, whatever, driving down the road, even today, listen to rock and roll radio, probably wouldn't be rock and roll radio. Or who knows when it would have happened without Alan Freed. And the one thing you can say about Alan Freed, he loved that music. He really loved the music. So, there we go. SG Fanboy is asking if he can be ring bearer at Jenny G and I's wedding. And yes, you can be the best man too. Reverend Wild Bill says, Gullerinos assemble. Jenny G says, the Rev would have to be the maid of honor? No, I think the Rev would be the Rev. He would be the minister for the union. This isn't the first time Reverend Wild Bill has offered to marry me to someone. Randy says, chef underneath the house tornado warning in effect. Oh boy. Indiana in the springtime. Tornado warning every day. Maid of honor can work. I have the perfect tutu to wear, pink and black. He's got a tutu and he wants it painted black. Today's supposed to be Blunder at 4. They're doing it tonight at 7. They may be doing it right now. Haven't sent me a link. No. Not in ages. Anthony Schultz says, Tom, how's it going? Hello, folks. If I wanted to, I could ask Bill to be on his show. He'd let me. Reverend Wild Bill says, you have been at 7 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, I know. Those guys, they got no respect. They got no class. They ain't got no respect. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are fine. I might not be as cheery about it privately if I didn't know that I was going to be driving across town and all that stuff and was going to have to move it to 8 anyway. Let me tell you something. Well, I'm not going to say that. I don't want to. Somebody might. Joker. Most cheerful chat. And hey, those guys, they can air their show when this one airs. They can. I can't stop them. You'd think morality would stop them. You'd think, I've super chatted on their show. Have they ever super chatted on my show? No, of course not. Well, wait a minute. I think Joe and his wife have. But the point being, that I forgot what I was going to say. Seven. That's what they are. I know where I will be at 7 Eastern. We're going to switch it to 8 because I got to drag my rear end back here. Taking my sleeping pill, known as the Tom Gully Show, says the Rev. I got to say, this show really is the world's only known cure for insomnia. Terry Nee says 7 Eastern is actually a terrible time during the summer. Later is better during the summer. I think probably later is better in general-ish. Sort of. Reverend says, so you got the job you were telling me about. Oh, yeah, buddy. Jenny G says, and let's leave it at that. I agree, Terry Nee. I would love it to be later. Well, it's going to be at 8 Eastern. The only question is, when would you guys like that to happen? Tomorrow or Monday? Just let me know. That's when it'll happen. People saying hi to each other. Those guys, they can step on the little Tom Gully Show. They can take their big giant iron TSN boot and push my head down in the mud and stick their thumb in my eye and spit all over my favorite baseball cards with chewing tobacco. They can do all those things. But you know what? They don't have the most cheerful chat room on the internet as verified by independent sources. And that's gonna sting. That's gotta sting. I'd love to go so.
And of course, I'm the Duke of 7 Eastern. Wasn't for me, they never would have had the idea. Never.
Start next week, says Reverend Wild Bill. So tomorrow. Hey, Jokerfish, people saying hi. 9 is too late, 8 o'clock is too good. It's too hot, it's too cold. 8 is just right. Okay, 8. I know we're the 8 Eastern's the time. We've settled that. It's when is that going to begin? Will it be tomorrow or will it be Monday? It's one of the two. Reverend Wild Bill says, and the phone lines are open. Bill, it's my show. Stop it. I'll say when the phone lines are open. I get to say that. That's my thing to say. You get to say my tarantula just ate a box of special moths or something. Mealworms, grub worms, something. I get to say the phone lines are open. Now there's nothing in it for me. It's ruined. And by the way, the phone lines have been open for I don't know how long. But they are open. And don't you call in. Not because I don't want to talk to you, because I do, but we need some other of these fraidy cats to call in here on this show. And we almost don't need it to happen tonight because I got a bunch of chats to go through. I found this show through TSN and happy I did. And here's the other thing. Now, see, if I move to 8, am I button heads with replayables? Because I don't want to do that. Quality over quantity, I say. SG Fanboy, you're exactly right. I vote for 8 p.m. We've settled that. Did I not talk earlier? It is going to be 8 p.m. Eastern. And some of you that put 8 p.m. in all these times, make sure and give me the time zone, please. I'm a broadcasting professional, thank you. Terry Nee says, for me, it's the glasses reflection. I want to see those lovely eyes. No, you don't. No, you do. I look like I went 10 rounds with the champ. Man, every day I've got dark circles. I have dark circles now because I haven't really slept in the last 4 days. Starting next Monday is what Wild Bill would like. Lyndon says 8 is cool. I saw Applegate become a YouTube member today. Too funny. 8 sounds great. Do it tomorrow. Okay, we got tomorrow. Yes, weekend members only would be awesome. Well, we'll do that. Reverend Wild Bill has donated $2 to the cause. Says, damn you, Goo. Damn you. Well, now I have to listen to what Wild Bill says because he donated to the show. I'm not like Stuttering John. $2. I wouldn't walk across the street with $2. Diana O'Brien says, hey, Gullarinos. Hello, Diana. Oh, hello, Diana. Jenny G says, hey, Diana. Glad to see another chick in here. It's a real sausage fest. Reverend Wild Bill says, he looks like Tom without glasses. Well, when I get more exercise and I start going out for my run, then the dark circles go away. But right now, he has Bob Hope eyes. I have, what's that comic book character with the flaming head and the rides a motorcycle? That's who's Hell something. I have those eyes. Born in Pennsylvania, says Terry Nee. Alan Freed was, yes. They moved to Salem, Ohio when he was very young, but he was born in Pennsylvania. Diana O'Brien saying hi. People saying hi. People saying hi. People saying hi. Most cheerful chat room on the internet is verified by independent sources. Let them deal with that. Go ahead, 7 o'clock. Go ahead, take it. I don't want it. You touched it. I don't want it no more. What a dope-ass blazer. It was a pretty cool blazer. I think that might be at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know, I got kicked out of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame I got kicked out for touching Al Green's clothes, his suit, on display. But I touched Buddy Holly's jacket, and they didn't see me do it because that's what I was trying to get kicked out for, but it never happened. Dire Straits named the song after a night at a bar. The band was Sultans of Swing. Well, yeah, but I got to think somebody named their Sultans of Swing after Alan Freed's Sultans of Swing. Good rock and roll evolution song is Black Betty. Wham Balam. Happy to be here. I'm also happy to be here, JC. I miss you guys over in the Discord. If only that one person wasn't there that kicked me out because I made them feel bad about their own words that they tried to hold everybody else to. And then when I turned it around on them, like a wrestling move, couldn't handle it. Couldn't hack it. I'd like to meet that dude in real life. Gilman says Knopfler also said the band was awful, but he was amused by the name. Yeah, you'd almost have to be bad with that band name. You need something stronger to drink to clear that up. To clear what up? Like a penicillin shake? Lyndon says Knopfler is my best finger-picking guitar player. Okay. Hey, that's a good Stuttering John impression. Thank you. Gilman says, I agree, Jenny. Well, thank you. 7 EST is Gully Hour, says Lucas Malago. Well, most people think so. But, these guys from the East Coast, that's another problem. The East Coast. I lived out there. I finally, after a very short period of time, said, I don't like living in a toilet. Anyway. I'm not crazy about the fact that we're using the Eastern time zone to describe all this crap, to be honest with you. Let's see what we got on. Hey, we actually have more viewers on Twitter again than we do here on YouTube. Twitter, we love you. We love you folks listening on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm just offering you the opportunity to come to YouTube, have a Google account, YouTube account, and comment in the chat room if you want and become part of our little community that talks back and forth. If you just want to watch the show, I think that's groovy, and I love you for it. And you're my best friend. People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's the one toy. Cut. Anyway. Tom. Did you know Guglio Marconi? You and Guglio Marconi see this coming? No, me and Lee DeForest saw it coming, though. And Enrico Fermi. Knopfler's great. He is great. That's Frankie Lyman in the bottom right of the poster. Yeah, Frankie Lyman had that super high-pitched voice. Super. And yes, Joker, Frankie Lyman did have a sad voice, sad life. Why do fools fall in? I mean, I used to be able to do it. I can't do it anymore, especially after whatever's going on with my voice today. Diana Bryan said, what doesn't kill you make you stronger, Tom. StreamYard is not helping you, but you mean, yeah, what doesn't kill you make you stronger. Yep, love that version. Payola never went away. It got different. You got that right, Joker. They just started bribing them with gifts instead of money. The Wolf says, hello, Pervitine lovers. Man, wouldn't it be great if we came up with a sponsor for this show, which was Pervitine. Number 1 in Germany since 1931. Pervitine, the pick-me-up that'll keep you up. Anyway. Lyndon says, Jokerfish, I have him up there with Page Clip, Chet Atkins. Okay, guitar talk. Talk about harmonica players, I'm with you. SG Fanboy, what a bummer of an ending. Yeah, it really was a bummer of an ending. I don't use a pick, and Lyndon 49, those are great guitar players. They are really great guitar players, I'll give them that. I didn't see that ending coming. How sad. Yeah, Gilman. Well, a lot of the early rock and roll guys died in sad. Richie Valens, Buddy Holly, Eddie Cochran, Alan Freed. There's a bunch of other ones. Sam Cooke. Wow, all killer guitar players. I like Lindsey Buckingham, too. I think Knopfler uses who cares? The Wolf says, I mean, I know you guys care, but Thumb pick. I played in bands my whole life, and I just sat for 15 minutes watching these guys tune their guitars, and I was like, these harps are all tuned when I get here. Okay. The Wolf says, got to run and move my wheels. Glad you didn't say move your something else. Gilman says, Joe has been the biggest proponent of the Tom Gully Show. There's a lot of proponents there. Bob has been a huge proponent. Shuli's been a huge proponent. Mike and Zen, they laugh politely. I'm joking. They're good guys, all of them. Very talented men. Jokerfish says, Buckingham is number 2 for me, finger playing. Okay, I gotta dump out of guitar talk here in a minute. I've heard this at. It just beats me to death. Well, Sonny Landreth is better on the slide than okay. I just spent too much time around guitar players. Doopadoo, he is top notch. Okay. That is good. Oh, hey, Tom. Wondering if you're going to open the phone lines tonight. They're open. They've been open for 20 minutes. They're going to close here in just a second. Is there something else on tonight? Is something following this? Or am I just being stepped on by a larger network? I feel like I'm the Dick Cavett of the Dabbleverse adjacent. The critics like my show, but it doesn't do that well in the ratings. Julian Caesar says Lindsey Buckingham on Dream Sound sounds like he's trying to communicate with the whales. Well, good for him. 8 p.m. seems like a good time after we settled that an hour ago. Oh, Terry, you are a funny dude, man. Lyndon says, Jokerfish, check out a live version of I'm So... God, you guys are beating me to death with guitar talk. Oh, it's almost as bad as car talk. Yeah, well, if you're going to put a Boss engine in, you got to... Oh, Ghost Rider. And my best friend builds custom guitars. So, there you go. Julian, Fleetwood Mac is great. Now, I agree with that. Fleetwood Mac is great. Mr. Zick. I believe it's pronounced Zick. Or Exic. I don't know. Apparently, Knopfler keeps a pick in his pocket all the time, despite never using it. Oh, God. Boat's here. Boat. Good Texan. Good man. Good to see you. Been too long. We all got to get together, too, by the way. Come down and say hello. Twitter, formerly known as X, formerly known as Twitter. Jenny G, thank you so much. Something stronger to drink to clear up that cough. Well, it's not a cough. What it is I have been here at home working all day and haven't had to speak to another human until I started doing this show. So I got to be better about before the show. That's all. Boat Boy says, love you, love the show. Here, buy an Airhead. We got to get together. The Big Bopper. Was it J.P. Rickardson? Hello, baby. And I what? And you what? Oh, baby, you know what I like. Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a ponytail hanging down and a wiggle and a walk and a giggle and a talk long. It makes the world go round. There ain't nothing in this world like a big-eyed girl. Okay, Terry Nee says 23-day tick-tock, old man. Yeah, I know. I'm officially really old on week. See, 3 weeks from Thursday, I guess it is. Say goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. Do I what? Will I what? Lyndon says, sorry, Tom. Music is my passion. Anytime is good for me. You call it. I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't mean to be a poop head. As all the cool kids are here. Hey, everybody, big hand, very special guest star in our chat room. Jesse P.S. from Pod Oswald. He says, hi, Tom. Been very much enjoying your shows with Steel Toe. Very, very rational, very, very David Frost, Richard Nixon. I mean, just very good stuff. Randy says, did all the Gullies play an instrument? No. Although our great uncle was in the Sons of the Pioneers. Tom Gully's Dabbleverse. You set the times. Well, the time has been set. We're going to 8 Eastern. But is it going to happen tomorrow or is it going to happen on Monday? I don't know why that's so hard. Jokerfish is laughing. John Entwistle was a really good bass player. Yeah, and my mom's left butt cheek. Yeah, he played with a pick. Did he play with a pick? Wow. You know, they also call it a plectrum. Jenny says, did I miss a show where you talked about your new job or did not give specifics on it? In any case, congrats. No, I haven't talked about it. I'm not likely to talk about it. Tom is Dabbleverse's Tool Time's neighbor Wilson. Because of the eyes, probably. Gum was the biggest show. You could do a Taylor Swift show, but please don't. I'm not doing a Taylor Swift show. Can we talk about drummers? We sure can. We can talk about any of that. So maybe we'll have a members-only show this weekend where everybody comes in and talks about their favorite whatever instrument player. You know, that'd be great. That'd be great. I'll seal the windows and turn on the gas if we do that. Jenny G says, Pod Awful Ephemera Obscura. The advice you gave to Aaron on doing member shows, etc., was spot on. Really was. Really was. A harpsichord has dozens of plectra. Yes, it does. Is your birthday soon, Tom, then? Yes, it is. It's coming up here. You know, I feel bad for that Aaron. I don't know what's going on. I don't care what's going on. It's really none of my business. But that wife of his is smoking. So that makes me feel bad. It's always gully time. You know, it really is always gully time. Karen Garvey is single-handedly trying to get Gully World Order off the ground. Thank you, Karen. You're doing God's work. I wish you Godspeed on that. Jokerfish says that John Philip Sousa was quite a player. Hey, you know that Jethro Tull is a great flute player. I love it that when people don't know that that's the... that's not the name of the guy. Jethro Tull, it's the name of the band. Ian Anderson. Jesse P.S. says, when is the Gully Toe crossover? I think that guy would have to know that I even exist for that to happen. And there's nothing for us to talk about. He's got his thing going. He's got way more stuff than, you know. Gilman says, it will all work out. You are Mr. Lucky. I am Mr. Lucky. It's very true. It's hard for me to deny. By the way, everybody needs to go, and I'm a little sorry for Jesse that he didn't turn on his gifted memberships, because he could be a member of the Tom Gully Show now. But if everybody would, go to Pod Awful, Ephemera Obscura, and subscribe there. You will see some things you have never seen before. And I'm hoping the Red Rooms is still somewhere that people can see it. There's some just amazing entertainment there that is unlike anything that you will ever see. Julian Jesus says Pink Floyd isn't the name of the guy either. No, it's not. I just meant Tom getting to go hog wild on Ape. On Ape? I don't think I'm not jiving. Who is Pink? Pink is that chick. Pepe Sylvia says, how you going? I'm finding due. Lyndon has contributed $2 to the effort tonight. John Entwistle, best bass player. Having fun, Tom. You don't like Danny Farragher? I do. I can't do memberships because I'm a branded account. Dumb YouTube rule. Me too. There's another thing that Jesse and I have in common. And he says ape equals April. So hog wild on... No, I'm not going to go hog wild on her. Seems like a nice girl that just got fed up with all the nonsense of being on the internet. I've been there myself, as you well know. And I don't know what the relationship thing is. That's a whole different deal that... when people are going through that or not going. It's like, I don't even want to know. It's like they start talking about, I don't know, man. Lately she's been, I got my own problem. So I wish him all the best. I would say this too. I like Steel Toe himself the best when you're talking to him. And I'll say this. I have made a total turn on Red Bar. I liked seeing some clips of him from time to time. I thought they were entertaining. The more I see of him, the less I like him. And I could say right now, it's repellent to me. Repellent. Is there anything going on other than TSN stomping me out? Well, it's Tuesday, so there's no. No, I guess I could just keep going. On and on. Except I got to make dinner. Boys got to eat. Jesse's opinion. Jesse is a Dr. Pepper aficionado. So I'm glad he's here tonight. Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream. Now I'm drinking the zero version. So I think it's scrumptious. And it has caffeine in it. Let's see here. Let's see here. Your fake outrage is getting a little less fake. No, I'm just becoming a better actor because I'm workshopping. I'm putting in the work. YouTube can be vicious. Hope that lady is doing better. So do I. The Dabbleverse can be a cruel place. That's very true. That's why I'm Dabbleverse adjacent. I'm sort of Dabbleverse, but I'm just a little bit. And that's also why so many people in the Dabbleverse, mostly the poultry and fruits and vegetables, they have no use for me and don't even tolerate me. They think I'm a lightweight because I'm not full in on the Dabbleverse. They think I'm, well, whatever, dude. The Wolf says, I guess that's like Dobe's daughter calling me Big Jones because I'm big and I look like Jonesy when she was a child. Well, you're going to have to talk to Mr. Brown about that, and Marvin. Terry Nee says, bring a sandwich next week. Exactly. I do need a sandwich. I could go for a sandwich. I went to the grocery store. There's Footlong Heroes I normally get, Italian. I got there this morning. The whole case was empty. Like they were cleaning it. I'm just like, the one time. Can't you guys? I'm not a fan of messing with the winning formula, says Jesse. Well, I don't know. I like to switch it up a little, but I can tell you that the winning formula that you think is the winning formula is actually, there's been other formulas. So which one is the winning formula? It's hard to say. Hard to say. I mean, the most popular beer in this country used to be beer, and now it's light beer. So who knows what the winning formula is? See everyone tomorrow on Facebook Live. Peace. What time are we doing? I mean, are we doing this at 7 or 8 tomorrow? Everybody seems to want it at 8 Eastern. So I'm going to just do it at 8 Eastern tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, I could delay lunch. What time? Do you have a link? Oh gosh, I am so sorry. Reverend Wild Bill will be on that show tomorrow. Go to his Facebook page or put the thing to search for. Go to his Facebook page. I guess it's the Reverend Wild Bill on Facebook. And 2 o'clock Eastern tomorrow, he's going to be on that conspiracy theory show or Shadow Vodcast or whatever it's called. So please, please, please watch that. The Dabbleverse is temporary. The Gully Brain is permanent. Well, it's getting older every day. The Reverend Wild Bill, 2 p.m. Eastern, and I'll have a link on my page. Good deal. Good deal. What time will your show be on in Guam tomorrow? Okay, hold on. Can you hear it? I hope you could hear it. Me and a couple of my neighbors are going to wait for that guy one day because we've had it. He hasn't sold a bar of ice cream in 2 years in this neighborhood, but man, he comes through here. Terry Nee says, 8 p.m. Did you just come up with that time? Nice. Yeah, just now, off the top of my head. Joker fish. Joker. Jenny G says, the ice cream truck. Yes, the accursed ice cream truck. One day I will have him. I will have him. Jerk. Poster behind Tom. The Rhythm Orchids. What a strange name for a music group. Well, there's worse ones. The Heartbreak. There's another one that was weird. Let me see here. Let's look around here. Anita Ellis. That's not the one I'm thinking of. The Cleeftones. There's all sorts of weird ones. The Heartbreakers. That's pretty standard stuff. But it's a jubilee of stars. So, Jenny G saying hi. Joker for saying hi. Jenny G just. Can you tie it in a bow? I can tie it in a knot. Know what I'm saying? All right, let's see here. Let's see, we got, I'm trying to move the hell out of the way. It's just not cooperating. Screw it. I'm done. Done trying to make it work. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. He ain't selling no ice cream, Tom. He ain't selling nothing. Truck never stops. Maybe the ice cream man isn't selling ice cream. Hey, yo, Tom, what's up with the ice cream truck? Is that a jerk that comes through here and just bothers people every night? That ice cream man is a 3-letter company. What are you into? I don't know. Send the ice cream truck my way. I love it. Just buy your own ice cream at the grocery store. You get like 10 times the amount of ice cream for the same. Don't mess with him. He's a serial killer. Yeah, well, I wish he was, because this is Texas, and we know how to handle that. Wolf, I love the danger, says Jenny G. You love the thunder and you love the rain. I got your number. It's never changed. Uh-oh. Let's see here. Levy verse already been on today. Uh-oh. SG Fanboy sent me something. This may have to be shown to the audience. Let me see what it is first. I'm a serial killer. Maybe it's the Nice Dreams truck. I don't think so. Jenny, are you channeling Dexter? Well, maybe. Karen Garvey says you can't buy what the ice cream man is selling at a grocery store. No, you can't. You're going to find that guy. I'm going to get a bag of quick lime and oh my God. I don't think I can convert that SG during the show right now. I got too much stuff open, but SG sent me a thing he made a couple of days ago that is going to amaze you guys tomorrow. The only question is, and if you guys don't give me a preference, I'm just going to pick. And if I pick, we're going to no, forget it. We're not. Tomorrow we'll be on at 8 Eastern, starting tomorrow. How about that? Tomorrow, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. That's when the show's on. So get the notification bell and all that stuff. That's when we're doing it, to avoid, conflicting. Now I got to tell you, it doesn't make any difference because those guys aren't going to be able to stick to a schedule. They'll move it around, and they have to. They have 4 or 3 people on their show. It just makes sense. You can't do a show with that many people and have it be at the same time every day because people got lives to lead. So, but we're going to move it to 8 Eastern. Jenny said, I might be Wolf, but my little friend will protect me. SG Fanboy says, works for me. Tomorrow it is. Sure. I used to kill 5. Oh, the Wolf. The Wolf would get a trash can and a gallon of milk and 5 boxes of cereal and just line the trash can, pour the cereal, the milk, and he would use a like one of those little garden shovels to eat the cereal with. You guys haven't lived till you've seen this man put away food. See you at 8. All right. Well, we've already gone 15 whole minutes over. I can tell you this. I'd like to thank Reverend Wild Bill, the lovely and talented Jenny G, Bout, my good friend from here in Texas, and Lyndon for their kind and generous donations today to the effort. Terry needs 7 Texas time would be great. You know what, Terry? On second thought, let's do it at 7 Texas time. Hardy har har, we're saying to each other. I'm not going to fall for that one. Blunder Years is live for any of you. I don't care about that. All right then. It's been a great show. I'm glad we made a lot of decisions. We learned that the Shuley Network people hate my guts and don't care about me at all. They never did. They were just using me. I'm just a pawn in their game. No, we learned that it doesn't matter when you do your show. And it doesn't matter who's doing a show at the same time. Now, I, as a gentleman, have always looked out for my friends' shows and didn't want to step on their toes. But other people just don't have the level of class and sophistication that I do. And I'm not mad at them about that. They wasn't brought up right. I was. No big deal. But everybody just do their show when they want to, and let's not worry about it. I mean, the truth of the matter is, if my show is going to be successful, I need to be drawing in a lot of other people that probably aren't into the Dabbleverse, that are just eclectic people. People like yourselves, erudite, unique, well-informed, good-looking. I like the cut of your jib, frankly. All right. Giving to the cause, GWO, the Gully World Order. What did we learn tonight? I think I covered some of that stuff about the show and those things. We learned that Tom has had enough guitar talk. Well, it just reached a certain point. I mean, it was fine for a while, but then thumb picking, and it just, I don't know what he did. He played it. The Wolf would like to thank Lily Langtree. Yes, we're going to hang her picture behind me here. Hey, you know what? You laugh, Wolf. Where's my pen? We can do a show on Lily Langtree. She is show worthy. I still have to do Marshall McLuhan, who I was going to do today, but I didn't think that would be a very popular show. Saving it for a Friday. Only the real eggheads will be here for the Marshall McLuhan show. We learned Reverend looks great in a tutu. That's all I need to know. Yeah, the Rev. His pink and black tutu. Are you kidding me? Legendary throughout Hotlanta. The Doctorn says, but Tom, you're stone green. That's pretty damn successful there. Well, yes, I am the only stone green etched, the green-rated host that has been chiseled into stone and immortalized by the people on Not Even a Show, who are awesome. And again, congratulations, Chris, on the papoose. And he's doing something crazy with his show that's going to make it pretty cool. It's going to be more of a talk show and stuff. The Wolf says, I think he meant to say Fitz bought 80 acres in Langtree County. I knew what you were talking about. We're simpatico, me and you. We're bros. We go way back. We're both, explosive with cords of muscle. We're both fan favorites. You know that's true. Da-da ding, 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 ding. Okay, I'm closing the phone lines. They've been open this whole time. I pay probably close to $20 a month to have that phone line open, and I get one call. The wolf says, in the days of the Greeks and the Romans, it was just considered good manners. Hey, Wanda is here. Wanda, it's so good to see you. So good to see you. Frankly, rather miss my times in the Pod Awful Cult Discord, but of course, someone there, only one person, with apparently some sort of moderator privileges, well, they transgressed the unwritten law. So that's, yeah. I will not be silenced. Yeah. Anyway, I guess I better get out of here and make some din-din, and I know you guys have some things to do. Tekken Forces says, love the haircut, Tom. Thank you. Did it myself. The Rim Wild Bill, I tried to call so you wouldn't feel cheated. That's okay, man. If you'd call it, it felt doubly cheated. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. The funny stuff. Sometimes I say things. Many a harsh word is spoken in jest. SG Fanboy, who's just done so much for this show. It's incredible. Says, great show as always. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks, Tom. Thank you, Lyndon. You guys are the ones that deserve the thanks. Reb Wild Bill's laughing. Good. All right. That's going to do it for me. I'll be here tomorrow at 8 Eastern, new time, making these programming decisions off the cuff. I can tell you one thing, I won't be late. Unlike, well, you know. It doesn't really surprise me. The people that have the least regard for other people's well-established show times can't be on time themselves. I'm going to wait for it to quit burning. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Those are good dudes. They're amazingly talented. And like I keep saying, there's 3 or 4 of them. They got to do it when they can do it. I'd prefer not to do it at the same time as them just because I like them and I want to watch their damn show. They clearly are not watching mine. And I can't blame them. I could do a super popular. If I just wanted numbers, I would have someone hit me in the head with a shovel 6 or 7 times, hard as they could, and I would have like a Perry Caravello show. All right. I'm out of here. You guys are the best. I thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. Don't hesitate to tell me if there's shows you want me to do, because I love doing all sorts of topics. And with that being said, till tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern, which is next time, I'll see you next time. Right out of my